Push the key in a little bit. Maybe it's not in all the way. Pull the key out, turn it around.
I did. Oh, there you go.
Youngsters. So, welcome back, everybody. So, we're back on the money pit, aka Bertha. Yeah, she had some problems. So, yeah, not run quite right again, and we just call it money pit because, as you guys have seen, we just put a ton of work into this. You know, a lot of new parts and everything. So, basically, what we're doing today is tend to have these studs that hold the rockers on, are actually starting to slide out of the head. They're just pressed in, stuff like that from the factory, and well, this truck's a 74, so do the math, you know, 50 years, yeah, they're tired. So we're back here again with Dave.
Hello.
And what we're doing today is we're gonna go ahead and Dave's helping me out because I had surgery, so can't be leaning over the motor. So poor Dave, he's stuck to it. Sorry, Mr. Dave. But yeah, we're back at it again, and hopefully this time we'll fix her. So basically what we got going on is we're going to pull off this valve cover, which you guys can see Dave's already taken care of right here. Thank you, Mr. Dave. And then we're going to go ahead and actually install some of these studs instead. So we'll pull them out and we'll go ahead and get the hole threaded, you know, install these bad boys with some Loctite and reassemble everything. And hopefully she'll stop spitting out the lifters. Sucks pulling that intake off twice just to you know, put a lifter back in place because the headstead's pulling out. Kind of sucks, and we can't drive her after all this work. I mean, look, Dave bought a radiator for her, he bought new shoes, new tires and stuff, and we've been putting a ton of money into this thing so that way she can be up and running again. But anyway, so we got this. We'll go ahead and do that, pull it out, use a nice little tap so we'll get her threads tapped, installed. Got our puller assembled already right here, so you slide that down on there. That'd be great. So once we get the valve cover off, we'll be back to show you guys how we get it done.
If.
Not if, Dave. We'll get it done. Stop saying if. If is not an option. I don't care. I'll bring the grinder and cut that shit off and buy a new one. There is no if. We take it off.
No, we take it off.
Yep. Alrighty, guys. So we're back. Dave got her off, of course. As you can see, son here's our number one that we having problems with. You know, this other one's not that great. I had to replace one already, but it was the wrong stud, so it's kind of big. But as you can see, get it off. We'll start taking those off. So, right, Mr. Dave, you got it off.
Yeah.
Not bad. Pretty simple. The one thing that's nice about these old V8s, pretty simple. Just about everybody but a monkey can do it. So apparently we're dumber than a monkey, right?
Don't say that.
I'm dumber than a monkey because apparently we can't get it fixed. So
She's 50 years old, man.
And truth be told, she sat for about 2.5 years, almost 3 years before we touched her, just because she had problems, and we didn't want to destroy her. We wanted to preserve her as much as she can, because this is for Bubba. Being 10, we got 6 years. Nope, he's almost 11.
We got
more. 5 more years to get our crap together. Right, Dave?
Yeah.
5 more years.
5 more years.
And get our crap together and get this thing up and running so she's like beauty for him. Then it'll be his problem. Yeah, then it'll be Jason's problem. So don't worry. I love my son. I'll guide him. But that's when it's time for Dad to sit back and be like, it's your turn to make the mistakes. So you fix her. I'll tell you what to do. Tools are in the garage. So, all right, Dave. Well, let's go ahead. We'll start with number one right here. And take this one off. We'll start going right there, man.
I'm just going to assume.
I don't think it's that one.
It
Is
is.
it? Oh, wow. Yeah, tell you how long we didn't even touch that ratchet since the last time we worked on this thing. So basically, go ahead, Mr. Dave.
That's probably why that was already
Yeah.
righty tighty lefty loosey.
You'll figure it out when it comes loose, right?
Maybe.
If you're going the wrong way, or if it comes tight and it doesn't come off, then you'll be like, oh, I went the wrong way.
Yeah, and then I'll never be able to get it off.
Yeah, you will. You'll get it off.
Oh no, there it goes.
In our lessons, we do not use impacts on these, right? Right.
Why is that?
Because you strip them out. Hence the large thread over there. The large stud.
I mean...
To be fair, it was already messed up. You know, it was already cross-thread, so we had to use an impact and a screwdriver to pry that nut off of that thing. But hey, so what happens. You have many hands in an old truck trying to fix it and do what they think is right. And, well, everybody knows. But, oh well. It is what it is. So, it's our problem now.
Yep.
Woo! Look at that, baby. Go ahead and just set her off to the side over there, Dave. And then pull out that push rod.
Push rod. This thing?
Yep. This the push rod. Hey, it's not bent. We're good. We ain't replacing more. Last time we had to replace 3 of them that were bent. Oy. All right, Mr. Dave.
That's why I'm looking at it.
It's not bent.
Not yet.
It isn't. But I'd be all dropping stuff and everything here. So, hang on. That bad boy on there. And then start threading that down.
Why does this seem like an easier fix than it should be?
I think Dave just cursed us. Thank you.
Sorry.
So, thanks for that, Mr. Dave. All right.
It's not my fault you make things look easy.
I don't. I've just screwed up enough times to know what not to do. Right? Right.
Right.
All right. We'll be right back. I gotta go get a couple crescents. That way we can put that thing on. So, be right back, guys. All right, guys, we're back. So finally found the right tap because apparently we didn't have the right one. So anyways, we found it, and then because everything is getting in the way, see a little trick we did just because it fits. Went ahead and you guys can see here the little trick we just thought of. So basically take a 1/4 inch extension and it fits right on the end of that tap. That way nothing sits here and hits the intake and all that stuff, doesn't hit the heater hoses or anything. So a cool little thing that we did. I'm glad you thought of that, Dave.
That was all you.
Apparently that was all me, but I forgot in like 5 minutes. So all right, you want to give her a whirl? Go slow on it, Dave. Just twist it very gently and then back it up a little bit and then go back down on it again.
Back it up a little bit.
Yeah, so go a little bit and then back it up because it helps clear out the threads on that tap. So now turn it back like half a turn.
Why is there still coolant coming off here?
There's going to be coolant coming out of there because there's coolant in that hole. So just go gently with her and take her down and just keep threading the hole. So coolant is going to come out of there because apparently that goes right into that water jacket where that stud was. So we're going to have to put some sealant on that thread when we put it in there and check and make sure no water's leaking because we don't want water going into our oil.
Nope.
There you go. Just keep going like that because it clears the threads out. Because it'll start doing that. Because if not, if you don't back it up while you're doing it, you chance busting that tap. Some people can get it, but to tell you the truth, I don't really feel like drilling out a tap out of there because it's just going to make a whole mess. You're going to have to pull the head and everything. And
Where do I stop?
Just keep going. Because we're going to have to, you're going to have to keep going and we're going to have to check it. So, and we're going to have to blow out all the little chips and everything out of there. So, a good tip when you're doing this is to actually dip that end of that tap in grease because the grease will catch all the threads, all the chips that are coming out of it. But right now we're going to blow it all out and everything. So there's already water in there, and I don't want grease in the coolant system. So let's see how far down are you. Keep going because we're going to have to we'll get a paint pen and we'll mark it and then we'll check that. You can pull it out and we'll check it against the other ones. But you see how it starts to get tight, and then when you back it up, it comes back up?
Yep.
Yeah. that's because it's cleaning out those little threads in there. But self-lubricating tap with the water coming out of there. So, fun times, huh? All right, Dave, let's just take it back down where it was tight before it starts cutting again.
Right there.
Yeah, I'll be right back. We're gonna go grab ourselves a paint marker. So I get a paint marker, we can mark it, pull it out, check it against the actual depth of the threads of the new stud that we're putting in, and that right there will tell you if you've gone down far enough without going too far. So it's a great little thing. Keep these things around, they're perfect. I love them. Well, sorry about the mess in the garage, guys. Football season's over, so as you can see, all our snack bar stuff's still there. We got to put all that away till we get ready to do the 5-on-5 with Bubba. He'll be my little linebacker. He'll be ready. All right, Mr. Dave. Here's what we're gonna do. So remember, clean this off. We take this and come down here, mark this little thread. Don't mind the mess. So, woo. You guys be looking at everything today. Like, okay, Dave, go ahead and pull that thing out of there. Let's take it out all the way.
Yeah.
We'll clean those threads off and we'll check it against the depth of here and see where it's at. See if it's gone down far enough. You could probably take that handle off and just unscrew it.
Oh, I thought it was just going to pull right out.
No.
Wishful thinking.
All right, let's check here. Let me see. No, let me see that tap. So, I think you've gone down far enough. See if you guys check that out. See the paint mark against that. We got like an extra thread. I think we're golden, so we're going to test fit it right now. Mr. Dave, try to screw that in. See how well it screws.
What side?
The thick side. The other side ain't going to screw in.
You sure about that?
Yep.
It's just going to go in and out of the hole?
Yep. I'm tempted to say it, but I'm not going to say it. You got to keep this channel clean, Dave. What, Dave? Really?
I wanted to see if you were going to say it. Okay,
What's
that's
that?
as close as it'll go in. Sorry, dude.
Well, I guess we got to tap it some more, so go ahead and pull it out. Good thing we test fit it, but you know what we didn't take into account? Where'd that little thing go? I'll put that booger. So basically, what we didn't account for is the taper on here, so this little taper right here. Well, yes, that trick didn't work too well, but anyways, if you keep going and you screw up, you screw up. Sometimes it costs you, sometimes you get away with it, but go ahead. We get back at it.
You put the paint. Oh.
It's already dry. It ain't on your fingers. Look, it ain't on my fingers.
I'm like, where'd you put the paint mark?
What a matter. Just screw it in gently so you don't recross thread it. And then once it stops, go ahead and put the handle or makeshift handle. There you go.
Your little idea.
Hey, it works. If it works, it's not a bad idea. It's only a bad idea or a dumb idea if it doesn't work. But it works, so it's a great idea. Now, not all taps are that way, but this particular size, we're able to get that to get us a little extension, which, yeah, it works. I mean, as you guys can see, it works. So, and then once we get this done, we're going to try to get that big old monster out of there and put the right one on.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey. It happens. Let me go a little bit more and then we'll try it. See. Yeah, I think that hole goes straight down there into the water jacket. Okay, Dave, just take her out.
Yeah.
Yep, take her out. I don't want to go all the way. Because without taking off the intake and then putting a little bore scope in there or trying to get in there with something to see it. We don't know how far it goes, but there was no metal that came out with that, and just doing a little bit of stuff. I think it's just because the water jacket actually comes right there. Because if you guys look, we got it right here, thermostat housing, exactly where the water goes, and it's exactly in line with that. So I think when they drilled it and they pressed that head in, they'll do that. You know, that'd be the other thing, is if it was, they're old, it's expanding,
Yeah.
the water getting hot like it was, guess what? I bet you that was building pressure, and because it's just old and it wasn't holding anymore, I bet you the water, when the truck would get hot, would start pushing that out.
Probably.
Hey, it's a possibility. You never know. This thing's old, so.
There's quite a bit of water in there too.
Nah, just put it in there so it doesn't run down in little holes, because we just don't want it running down those little ports and getting into the engine oil. But after this, yes, we're gonna end up changing the oil again, so I don't want to hear it. Hey, we do it, whatever. Ain't gonna hurt it. It'll just make sure everything's cleaned out of there. It's fine, Dave. Just see that'll screw in there, because right now you're pushing on the truck, so the water's like going that way.
Oh, I'm like, where'd my screw go?
It's a stud, not a screw.
Screw, stud, tomato, tomato.
Oh, next thing you're gonna start calling it a bolt. It's not a bolt. Really? Give me that look again, Dave. Really? I should have caught that. That was I'm gonna smack you, Matt. I'm gonna smack you. That's what that was.
I was just about to call it a bolt too. Just to mess with you.
That's what that was. So, all right, is it seated all the way? Does it look like it's going down all the way now?
Yeah. She stopped.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna keep from thinking. We're gonna put a little bit of little Teflon on there and everything like that, and then torque that thing down, make sure it ain't gonna come out on us. And of course, we'll recheck it here in a little bit after we drive it a couple times. Just make sure water's not leaking down in there. And if it is, we're gonna have to do something else, because
Don't say that.
well, I don't know. Everything I've looked at and everything there, that port is where that stud comes out is right there. So somebody either manufactured it wrong, or that's just the way it is. I don't know. It is what it is. So, all right, we'll get some Teflon. We'll get that thing done and install, and we'll be back. What'd you say, Dave? Mess it up. Mess it up. That was nice. Always check the junkyard, because then you get badass wrenches like this for no reason. Somebody
Is that where you got this?
Yeah, found it at the junkyard. It was laying in the Jeep. And to be honest, I waited a little while to see if anybody was going to come back, and nobody came back, so I just went back and grabbed it before somebody else did. So, their loss. I've done it too, trust me. I've lost stuff. I've come back a couple hours later, and I've realized, like, oh crap, I left it. Well, somebody got a free tool, so always check the stuff you're working on, because guess what? Sometimes you get lucky. So, what do I need? Did you get that good torque down?
Yep.
Super good.
Super good.
Let's see. That's good. Now it's super good, right? Super good. We're gonna call that 5 foot-pounds, 5 finger-pounds. No, he had this, so we're gonna call that 10 finger-pounds, because he had both hands on it. All right, Dave. Now it's good. Reinstall that push rod. Just slide it in gently, make sure there's no junk on it.
Well,
Wipe it off. There's a rag there. So slide it down in there. You'll feel it hit. It'll be good. It'll sit in a little pocket.
it sits in a pocket?
It's in there. I can tell it's in there, because otherwise it would be kicked. It would honestly be like, instead of being straight like that, it would be kicked out like that and slide deeper. But the other thing you can do, because they are hydraulic lifters, sometimes if they're not all pumped up, you can push it down a little bit and you can feel like where it's in there. So, let's see. This way first. I want that little piece out. Hey, look, it works. And then we got this one. All right, I messed up. Something's not working. Something's not right. Ugh. It's all janky. One-handed with the camera, and he screws the pooch.
Don't screw the pooch, man.
I'm not trying to. Pooches aren't fun. Okay. It's just this one wasn't sitting in there properly. There we go. Putting that on. I always start these things first by hand, because that way you make sure you don't cross-thread them. All right, Mr. Dave. Moo her up.
Moo her up? Is that what you just told me? No, I'm the wrong size.
No, just get it right now. You're good. Wrong size.
What?
How more you got laying around there? You sure that one was the wrong size?
Yeah, it was too big. Pretty sure.
I think someone you took it off with.
I said, I don't.
I think so. Go away. It shows it's loose right now.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now you put the wrong size ratchet. Mm-hmm.
What they don't need to know won't hurt them.
It's on camera, Dave. They saw it.
You didn't see it. He can edit that out later. We're fine.
Yeah. We'll edit it out.
Next thing you know, it comes up on YouTube. Matt!
Hey, that's why they gave me my freaking nickname, Matt Happens. Because I just make stuff happen.
Matt happens.
Yeah.
Okay, how tight am I supposed to go?
How tight is it? Let's check it. Is it bottoming? Let's
Yeah.
see. Okay. We'll check her. Oh, these, it needs to go. We'll have to spin it over. So let's try to start taking that one out so we can replace that stud. Because obviously, that's not the right one.
And of course...
No, that one's going to be a pain because I actually had to get a wrench to put that on. I forget what wrench it was.
Oh, that's right. Oh, Mateo, I do not know how you even... Yeah, no.
Tiny eighth of an inch at a time. Just like eat. So.
Is that what we're going to have to go through to get it off?
For a minute. It's big, Dave.
Okay.
Told you, Matt Hammers.
Where's the crescent?
I'd say something else, what we commonly call it, but in this day and age, we don't want to be offending anybody because for some reason, nobody has thick skin anymore. Everybody will get offended. Get over it. Gen Xers, awesome. Everybody else, they started being babies. More technology, and my thought that you give somebody, the more they think they know, and actually they don't. So, Dave, we need a wrench. It's skinnier. I would go go grab I think it's a 5/8 wrench.
A 5/8.
Yeah, so not the top chest, but the second box, top drawer, 5/8. They'll be back. So once we get that off, we'll be back.
Wherever they can.
Yeah, so that'll be good. We're back. Playing with everything again, so that's good. My little self-doing thing. That's good. Here we go again. Turn this bad boy over again, man. Check the rest of these. Goosey. I don't go too much on them. We could always install that other valve cover that I cut for it, for adjusting them, but I don't want to mess with oil spray now right now, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I got that old school valve cover for it, remember? Or that doesn't overlap where that valve was starting to open.
Mm-hmm.
That's about where we're supposed to be, so. I like my new button. Let me get it going, see? It works. Yeah.
Ah,
You didn't see nothing.
I don't even want to know why I did that.
Because it's pumping up.
Oh, so that's normal.
Yeah, it's normal. It pumps the oil up and it splashes around to lube the rockers, the whole valve train.
He said lube.
Keep it clean, Mr. Dave. All right, Dave. I think we can put the valve cover back on. Keep it clean, boy.
I had to. I had to.
This guy.
You gave me the option. I took it.
Well, what happened is you've been hanging around me too much.
It's
Well, we
been a
gotta keep
year.
it clean. It's YouTube, dude.
It's been a year, Mateo.
Hey, we really have to practice now because once we get bigger, if you all like us enough, hopefully they do. But yeah, if you guys like what we build, I mean, come on, honestly, subscribe. Come on, click it, like the videos, subscribe so you guys can see more, so we can build more. That way we can make cool stuff. So, because yeah, eventually we want to get some projects like these and give them away to y'all. So, come on, like, subscribe. Come on, I hate to be one of those guys, but come on, people.
Even if you enjoy laughing at us while we're trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, because half the time we just wing it. Like, yeah, okay, I am an aircraft mechanic and diesel mechanic, but half the time I just wing it. And yeah.
Because it works.
Does it what?
Because it works. Because
You heard it. You heard it. It works.
It works.
It's just years of making and doing stuff on my own that I just figured out. So, yep. Because it works. So, since we got them all in, the ones that are messed up, until we can actually get a lathe and turn down these, because the little step on there, which I'll show you guys, I still ain't found the right ones for this. Man, went through what? How many? 3 sets of studs for the rockers?
Man.
Oh man. So basically what we have is, you guys see this little lip here? So the rockers won't go down past that. So we had to do some homegrown machining on that, and I don't want to do the others until I can take these and get this little lip, this collar right here, machined down to be the same as this. So once we get it there, then we'll install the rest. But for right now, we're just installing the ones that we need to, just so we can get her up and running. So why? So Mr. Dave can drive it to work. Yep.
Without breaking down.
Yeah, without breaking down or having problems, because even though we got AAA,
I don't
We don't
want
want
to
to.
using it.
I don't use AAA all the time. It's a pain in the butt. Then you gotta sit there and wait for it. And besides, we probably need it for the Kia, because the brand new Kia, a year old, and has already been towed. How many times? Five, 6 times to the shop. Don't buy a new Sportage. They're junk. But that's what the boss wanted, so she's got her Sportage. So whatever. We'll leave it at that. Me personally, no, I never buy it. I remember what my granddad said. There's only 2 things that my granddad ever believed in back in the day, and it was an old Ford. He always said, ain't nothing good but an old Ford truck. Well, Grandpa got it right. But sorry, Grandpa, you were wrong on this one. Yeah, sorry. But the other thing that Grandpa always said was his caddy. And even the new one that had all the electronic stuff, that was my grandma's. He said all the time, that thing was a piece of junk. Take it from an old mechanic. He said the same stuff. That thing's a piece of junk, boy. So, sorry guys. I know people ain't that pretty on Ford, and they don't like Ford. And yeah, even though I drive a Dodge, I still love Fords. They got a good spot in the heart, because I grew up with my grandpa running me around in an old 68 250. Yeah, that was a fun truck back in the day. I remember that, man. Grandpa would take us to the store. We'd have to go to the store with him. Oh my goodness, that thing was freaking awesome. It was so bad though. He bought that truck brand new, right? And she was old. She had the old vinyl on the floor like Bertha has, but on the passenger side it was all wore out, so there was like shiny metal. So if you didn't wear shoes back in the day, like we tended not to, living up on the property,
Burn your feet.
oh yeah, in the summer, man, we used to burn our feet all the time, and then Grandpa would yell at us. He'd be like, boy, where's your shoes? And we're like, they're at the house. Get your shoes on. Okay, Grandpa. No, I'll tell you the same truth. Like, man, back in the day, my grandpa was old school. He was born in 1908.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. And he passed away in the 90s. He was almost 90 years old, and he passed away in the late 90s. And man, rest his soul, he was awesome. You know, but he was old school. If you were bad, Grandpa wouldn't even tell you anything. You'd just be walking by him, and he'd grab you by the arm, turn around, and grab his cane, and just whip your boot. That's it. He would whip your butt. You wouldn't even know where it come from. And after he was done, he'd be like, "You gonna behave?" And then we'd have to think of what we did, and we'd be like, "Oh yeah, now I remember. Now we remember why." I was like, "Yep, So, and Grandpa saw everything. You didn't know, even if you thought you got around, man. We had 35 acres to run around on. Didn't matter. Grandpa still always found out. He'd still whip our behind. But yep, I remember that thing. Riding there, sitting next to him. Back in the day, we didn't even have to wear seatbelts. We'd be sitting in that truck, and Grandpa had that old truck, and it was a manual. If you sat in the middle, Grandpa would shift and you didn't watch your legs, you get smacked in the knee and the leg too. But man, I tell you, I love that old white Ford. One day I'll get me another one just like his, a 68 250 with a manual trans. Just because that's what Grandpa had.
Bertha, can you like...
If my dad had one, he had a 250. It was silver, rusty. When he went to Arizona, we go spend the summers with him. And in Arizona, you're allowed to ride in the back of the truck.
Oh yeah.
So when we were in Arizona during the summers, and Dad had to take us places, and our stepmom had to go, Adrian. I remember that my little brother Corey was small, so he got to sit inside the truck with him, and then Bruce and I would ride in the bed. This is old, like 78 F250, and I remember one time Grandpa took us camping, or not Grandpa, Pops took us camping, and yeah, it was fun. I remember this thing. Like we went to Canyon Lake out there in Arizona, and we were so freaking happy. We were out there and stuff, and a storm rolled through the monsoons and just drenched us. And I remember we threw everything in the truck and hauled butt out of the lake. We were driving on this old dirt road on the side of the mountain coming out of the lake, and my pops, he thought it was the best idea in the world. Oh, dude, no wonder she's running like crap. There's a spark plug off on this side too, Dave. There's
Really?
a spark plug. Yeah, there's a spark plug wire. I just noticed it. The whole time we were working on this thing, look at this, guys. There's a wire off right there on the back cylinder. Huh, I wonder why she's running like junk.
Seriously.
Yeah. But anyways, the old story, I remember this, dude. We were, I remember vividly, I was probably about 9 years old. Bruce was 7. And we threw all the fishing gear in the back and stuff, and we had a blanket, sleeping bag in the back of there because we were supposed to camp, and my dad decided not to. So here's my dad hauling butt trying to beat the monsoons, running down the freaking this dirt road, and he had Bruce and I sliding around in the back of the truck, like totally bad, something that you'd never do, like nobody would ever do with their kids these days. And we're sitting there, Bruce and I are sliding around just trying to hold on for dear life as my dad's hauling butt down the road. And long story short, we were sitting there trying to cover with that sleep bag, and we thought we were golden for a while until that water soaked the hell out of that thing. I'll tell you, my stepmom was so mad because we were peeking through the back window. We had it slid open, and she was so mad at us for kept opening it. And we're covered with this soaking wet sleeping bag. Dude, can we come inside? Can we get inside the truck? And I remember we had to, like, Corey sat on her lap, and Bruce and I squished up against her and Dad, and my dad was laughing. He even took his glasses off, and he was like, I can see perfectly fine as he's over the steering wheel squinting. Oh man, it was fun, dude. It's like, I had some crazy stories, but that was one of the best times I had with my dad. It's all crunched up in that little 250, you know. And he stopped at this place out there. There was a little restaurant on the road, which we loved because it was a little restaurant slash store. It had a little bar in it and stuff too. But we'd go to the bar and we'd sit on the stools, and the stools were killer because they were saddles.
Oh.
All down the bar was horse saddles. You would sit on a horse saddle at the bar. Nice. And we loved it because we'd sit there, and then it's freezing rain, we're soaking wet. Dad takes us in there to let the rainstorm pass a little bit so we can go back home. And so we're heading back to Mesa, Arizona. And he bought us prickly pear ice cream. So we're soaking wet sitting there in the freaking bar on the saddles, chopping up prickly pear ice cream, dude. Jesus. I tell you, man, it's like, you don't, it's so funny that how, like, sometimes something will ruin your day like that, and it just turns into such a great memory that you don't remember. Like, you don't think about it until, like, something pops off, and it's little things like this that I see. I mean, even that, like, just thinking about these old trucks, I just got a lot of good memories with them. So You know, and I've never had one leave me on the side of the road, to tell you the truth. I've always had enough stuff in the box or, you know, behind the seat to rig it to get it home. I've never had one leave me on the side of the road. I've never had a tranny go out on one of these things. Even when I blew on my old 250 when I was like 18, 19 years old in college. And my old 250 blew a head gasket, and I was like, well, screw it, we're gonna run it. Went the rest of the way to my sister's, dropped off my little brother, and then hauled butt all the way back to Redlands. And I remember that thing was smoking out of both tailpipes because it had independent exhaust on each side with headers. And I remember that thing was smoking so bad when I pulled in, running hot as hell. And she still made it home. We took that thing even with 2 blown head gaskets, and my stepdad and I took her apart in the driveway, put new head gaskets on it, changed the oil like 3-4 times to get all the water out of it. Like, we didn't even pull the pan off. we just changed the oil on the thing and just kept going with her. And I ran that truck for another 2 years until I bought my 350 from the dealer. But I just remember that stuff. I remember back in the day buying like them old things. They just lasted. I even had one that had a hole in the side of the block before. Like, I broke a piston on her and I was at work in Fontana. It was this old 73 250, and man, thing, it was tan. And I remember at work, and I went to start it up, and it was all boom. And I was like, what the hell? And we shut it off and look underneath, and there was oil puking out of it, and there was a crack on the side of the block. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. And I drove it from Fontana all the way back to Loma Linda like that with a busted piston doing like 30 on the freeway. And that thing went back, and I was like, the block is toast already. So I didn't have no way to tow it home. I'm like, I'm getting that thing home as much as I can, dude.
Right?
Yeah. It was it had a 360 in there, and I turned around and I ended up going and getting pulling out a 460 out of another truck, a newer one. And stuck that thing in there, and I'll tell you, man, that thing was a little beast. And after I changed the engine from a junkyard motor, I took that motor out of the junkyard. I remember putting it in my dad's little S10, this big old freaking V8 sitting in the back of the S10, and took it back, brought it home, took it out, and I just sit there, sprayed degreaser on it, and sprayed it down with the hose, get rid of all the oil. Turned around, got some blue paint, and I got some black paint. And I just taped up everything and just spray painted it and shoved it back in the truck so it looked good. I drove the truck around for another couple months until somebody offered me money for it, and I sold it. A little flatbed truck I was driving around, that thing was crazy too. Hey, and it was bad. It was really bad, that truck. Like, the interior was trashed. They had, like, for your outside patio furniture, the springs were sticking through, and the foam was all gone on the driver's seat.
Oh yeah.
So I just put a pillow on there, would sit on a pillow. I would drive it with a pillow on the seat. I didn't care. And that old thing just drove too. It didn't matter. It was fun. Oh, and I had one of the little 4-speed manuals too. That thing was killer. You gotta push down on
Are you
it.
gonna go in or not?
Adjust the valve cover or something. It's not going in. You're gonna have to just push the thing in, like push it down with your hand and twist it. Something's pushing up on it, I can see. Are the other ones all tight?
Yeah.
That's probably your problem. It's not lined up right. You might have to loosen the other ones and then get it over. That's where I put them in, and then I don't tighten them down until all of them are in. It's just because of that. I bet you we get this thing's gonna purr. You put the plug wires back. That's good, Dave. Just have to be a little loose. They just can't be super tight. You can wiggle around the valve cover, so now you should be able to get it up in there.
Keyword. Should.
This is that thing. Where's your ratchet? I got so many stories of old trucks. Is this the right one for that? I don't even think that's the right one for those. I think it's too big. I think it's the wrong socket for that, Dave. Do you have any more of those? Or are they all in? No, there's one missing because I still got to put those 2 flat brackets. See if you find a socket that fits better. That's not the right one.
What the fuck is that?
I think it was a short one, a small one. It's right here.
That explains so much.
I'm surprised you got freaking 4 of them in already. Wow.
I was kind of wondering why they were just spinning when I got it toward the bottom, so.
One day I'll make you a crazy fool like me.
That just means that I gotta go back and retighten all of them.
I'm thinking we need to get in here and trim some of those back, man. Look how much this radiator is. Dude. That much of the shroud is covering the radiator on the side here. We need to come in here and trim this up.
Mm-hmm.
What the fudge, Dave? What the heck did we do? I better not tell Melissa we're gonna do that because she'll kill me.
What?
Trim it up. She'll kick my butt.
You ain't trimming the radiator.
No, not the radiator.
I was about to say, Matt.
No, okay, if you look right here, my brain's being stupid right now. The core support. So the core support right here, we need to trim about 2 inches off this thing to get some more airflow on the side of this radiator here. It's pointless to have a nice big old radiator in here if like half of it's being blocked.
True.
Oh well. Another day. That is not today. It's supposed to rain too, so.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, it rained this morning. Apparently, Bertha was wet.
I think that was condensation. I don't know if it actually...
No, she was wet, and the ram was wet too, because when I hit the brakes, all the water ran down the windshield like it usually does.
Oh, yeah?
Because it sits in the top of the visor there.
Right.
So, that'd be a why. I got those headers too. We need to see now that we got that starter if these headers will fit down in here that I have in the shed. If they're gonna fit, I want to wrap them and then stick them in here to keep some of the heat out of this thing. Help her breathe better. Because I have a set of headers I bought off a guy for like 60 bucks. And he said they were for a 302. So we'll see.
Only one way to find out.
Man, I can't wait till I can drive my Jeep again. I feel so sad every time I get home and I see the beast laying there. She's just sitting there. Almost. Probably another week and I might be able to drive her. That surgery hurts, like hopping in that roll cage. Look at this old little Toyota. Oh man, what is that thing? Whip. We're almost done. Yeah, almost got it, Miss Dave. Okay, those are wrong. They go like that.
Like that?
Yeah, spread out like that because they hold the wires.
I was about to say, I'm going to assume that it's going to go something like this.
Yep. One day I'll put some little studs on there so those things will slide on properly. One day. Not today, but one day.
I'm going to freaking...
You just have to twist those out before you tighten that all the way down. Get them a little snug to where those things will... You can... Oops. What did you do?
I went in too far.
Well, because that one is sitting there. See how it's like up?
This one?
Yeah, you're going to have to twist that one around. Because there you go. Like that. They just sit like that in there. That way those little clips can sit on them. I gotta buy more. I gotta find who's got a good set because they no longer carry these good ones anymore. I can't find them anywhere, so I'm gonna have to look on Summit or something and buy me a good set for this truck. I want to buy the Ford racing ones too, like that one there, so we can get them all. So they'll be nice and pretty again.
Right.
I think as we're done and this thing runs good, I think I want to get in here with the air compressor and just blow all that junk off of there. So.
Oops.
Can't believe this. Like, it was running like junk, and we didn't even check and see those spark plug wires hanging off of it. It was running on 7 cylinders.
Oops.
Oh well, it's one of the things we check. So, I'll put the wires back on, and that one there will have to be plugged back in. See it hanging there by the box?
How?
How'd you notice that? That's what I want to know. You just looked down and saw it hanging?
I just saw it hanging right now. I told you, like, a lot of people always ask me, like, how did you see that? So those ones go to the back tube. So if you look, if you put the clip on, because it's upside down. So if you put the clip on, that one's going to be the back cylinder. That'll be the next one forward. So if you pop it on the clip there, the way it's supposed to be.
This clip.
Yeah, because I have them all cut and ran. There you go. Now,
This one's here.
that one goes to the very back, yep. And then the next one goes right there. Because when I made these wires, I trimmed them down so they sit perfectly like that. So that way, Mr. Mateo knows, and it's going to be the same with this. See, the shorter one will be the ones that run closer.
The second one?
So it'll be
Or the
number
first
2.
one?
The shorter one goes on number 2, and the longer one goes to cylinder number 1.
Uh-oh. Why is the boss messaging me?
She's probably sending us bull stuff.
If it's not my paycheck or Sonia coming over here, I don't want to
Search your boss?
No, it's Melissa.
It's the boss.
It's the boss, not my boss.
The boss.
Sonia, don't text me through Messenger.
She's sitting at her mom's doing the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And check it out. She's like, look who's staring at me. It's Diesel.
Fucking Diesel.
So I don't know how well y'all are going to see this, but the dog that I gave to my mother-in-law, such a sweet boy. He's sitting there. Husky Wolf Mix. His name's Diesel. So he a good boy. But my wife just sent me a picture. She's like, look who's staring at me. And I had to blow it up. Diesel's a great dog. And, well, he just fell in love with my mother-in-law, and she wanted a dog. So I was like, here, take Diesel, because you guys are elderly, and you guys cannot raise a puppy. So,
Did you really put electrical tape around this thing?
yeah, try to keep it on. Just plug them in. I told you I have to fix it.
Just plug them in, he says.
Yeah, just plug them in. That thing's not going to sit right anyways. I tried to keep it on, and it's all messed up. Like, screw it.
So as you go, why do you feel like
Yep.
you're...
Yeah, it's in. Once it clear, that's it. Just push the other one in too, and then we'll get this back one and clear the tools. Sash your fires. Oh, did you get those two already?
Yeah.
All right, clear the crap out of the way so you can get in there. Pull your sleeve up. Unless you want to be putting grease on your sleeve.
Ow.
Remember, the power steering box is leaking. It's old.
That is true.
You like I did. I had a truck that ran a year.
Oh, there you are.
I had a... Hey, I'll tell you the truth. I had a truck that ran a year,
Mm-hmm.
and I only ever changed the oil filter. You know why?
Why?
And I don't recommend it, but it had such... It would leak a quart of oil a week, or like half a quart a week. So every 2 weeks, I put a quart of oil in it.
Matt.
The oil was always clean, so just like every like 4 months, I would change the filter on it. Never did an oil change because the shit would leak out all the time. We're little and we're dumb. We're younger years being stupid. I'll tell you that. If it's leaking oil, it means it's got oil.
Jesus.
That's what I would tell everybody. In high school, my friend Nick, because I had that old F100 and she would leak oil pretty bad all the time, and I didn't want to pull off the intake and do all that stuff. I was broke. I was a high school kid. I didn't have that much money.
Right.
Like all my money went helping my mom with food and stuff, so I didn't have a lot of money. So basically, I remember that my buddy Nick would tell me, he's like, Matt, your truck's dripping a lot of oil. I was like, that's cool. It means it has it. And then he was like, I was like, oh wait, we went to the auto parts store and I bought a quart of oil and a filter. And he was like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm gonna do an oil change on that truck. He's like, you have more oil? I was like, no. I was like, I put in half a quart a week, or a quart every 2 weeks, so it didn't matter. All right, guys, we're back. So apparently, I had to take a minute because we had to find a stool because I'm only like 5'9", a little over 5'9", and I got short legs, so I need that. So that way I can reach that. That way we can tune her. So she's got that tune on her from when it was warm. So we're gonna go ahead and get all this undone. You guys can take a gander, watch us. Hopefully you guys can see. This thing tuned up. Ooh, that was almost bad. Ah, Mr. Dave. Set that one in the back somewhere where it's not gonna fall. I'll put this up here. Oh, that thing looked Ooh, you can smell the gas on that.
What happened?
Oh, you can smell gas. It's running too rich, definitely. So, go ahead, fire her up. Let's see what happens. Go tune her and play with her.
Go wrong.
Do it! Messing up everything right now. Look a little better. All right, so, whew. I get a 1/2 inch. You want to see if there's a 1/2 inch wrench in there? Yeah, let me see if a half. And check on this old girl. I don't know why she being a booty. Yeah, a minute sitting. She don't like it. The bottom box, top drawer. Oh, this old girl. And the problem is we be working on her, and she's old. Like I said, a lot of people have been over here messing with this old girl, and well, long story short, a lot of people get in here, stuff gets messed up, and we're just always messing with it, trying to stay one step ahead and keep her running. Heck, that's Bertha. That's the way she is. So I'll give her one more fire, and let's see. I'll play the timing a little bit and see. Love this old truck though. Yeah.
Starting not to like this key.
Alright, kill it. Don't leave it there. We call this winter tuning it because right now it's cold. It's like what, 50 something degrees? So that's what we doing. This old girl, she loves it. It's like, it's so funny. Like back in the day, you got that meme going around. If you think you're smarter than the old timers, just remember, back in the day, your owner's manual showed you how to tune your vehicle. Today, it tells you don't drink the contents of the battery. Does that go to tell you how stupid the people are these days? But you're also smart because everybody got smartphones. And it's easy to just go, hey Siri. But, sorry. It's the truth. Don't care if I offend anybody on that one. But, it's the truth, man. Like when I first seen that little meme, I looked it up. And I kid you not, if you look in the owner's manual of Melissa's car,
100% true.
yeah, it tells you don't drink the contents of the battery. If
Meaning someone has done it.
if they have to tell you some dumbass did it, and then they got sick. Well, if you did it and you died, well, sorry, just don't breed. That's all I say. Don't have kids. If you're dumb enough to drink a battery acid, yeah, I don't know what to say about you. I know it's gonna offend people. People are gonna be mad on that, but I really don't care. Don't watch me. I'm just saying, it's like it's. As I said, sometimes Melissa's like, you're a little too harsh on Jason. I'm like, no, my son's gonna learn, and I'm sorry, I learned old school. Like, my dad wasn't around very much when I was a kid, and all I had to look for him is baby boomers. That's all I had to learn from is old timers, people that when I was 8, 9 years old were already in their 40s and 50s, and so I got raised, even though I caught the end of that, depending on which retard says it, I caught the very end of the Gen Xers, so I was right before we had the millennials, right there, only made it by like a year. I'm telling you the truth, and I was raised by the old time baby boomers that you figured it out. You didn't just throw stuff away, you didn't just go buy something new, you fixed it and you figured it out. So that's all I'm doing with my son, and he loves it. That's why Jace learns so much. Jace already knows how to weld. The catalytic converters that are on Charlie's truck, on his grandpa's truck.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Jace helped me weld that stuff when he was like 7. He's like 7, 8 years old. Jace helped me weld those pipes on there. I taught him how to weld. Oh, he loves it. And even this, like if he weren't in school, he'd be over here doing this right now.
Oh, yeah, he would.
He'd be over here helping us. He loves doing stuff. I like having him in a wrench to do stuff, because it just builds character. So by the time he's 16, he's gonna know the ins and outs of this truck, and if it ain't running right, he's gonna know what to do to fix it. So I call her done, Dave. I call that a win. She's running better than she has. I know she's a little cold, and I can see the choke holding on it still, so once it warms up, it'll be good. But yeah, that's it, guys. So what did we say, Dave?
Adios.
Hey, he was having something there that we didn't want on, so sorry about that. I caught him on the spot. Well, till later, heathens.